me welcome to the show. He is a 6-time Grammy-winning producer as well as artiste. And this is this from Sister Rosa? You'll
That's
tell
correct.
us in a second. Which stars the legendary Sonia Sanchez, who we've been quoting a lot. Does it free us? Is the question. Let me welcome Mr. Christian McBride.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, all right. So
I'm honored.
listen to the voice too. Coming in here, I can't tell
you
y'all what we're talking
show
about.
Right down the hall.
Huh?
You didn't know that, did you?
You do a show here?
Right down the hall.
What's your show?
The Lowdown.
The Lowdown.
Yeah, it comes on Real Jazz.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it comes on every Saturday afternoon at noon. 12 noon.
And what do you do?
I play duets with my guests, and we have conversations.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
So what do you play?
Oh, man.
Come on, Christian, help me out here. Listen,
Take a guess from my voice.
From your voice? No, that doesn't. No, because I'm looking at your lips, so I'm like, it's not the trumpet.
No.
It's not the. What's that? Well, Dizzy Gillespie is not whatever he played.
Yeah, the trumpet.
Right. Okay, because his cheeks, whatever. He played something where his cheeks would
Cheek
blow
muscles.
out. Yeah, you're not
bless
playing
her
the clarinet because your mouth will be a little down. You know, I can see. So I was like, it's not a wind instrument. It could be the piano, you know, but you play the bass. You're like a doom, 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 doom. Why? How did you get into that?
Runs in the family. My dad plays bass. My great uncle plays bass. Couldn't get away from it.
Okay, so you were a little knee high to a grasshopper,
Pretty much.
and they had you, but the bass was probably bigger than you.
Well, I started when I was 9. I started on the bass guitar, and then when I got to middle school, then I started playing the upright bass.
Okay.
And the bass was much bigger than me.
What's the biggest challenge of playing an instrument that large, and besides carrying it through the airport?
That's the biggest challenge, just transporting that bad boy, especially flying.
Yes. Do you ever worry about them destroying your instrument?
Well, unfortunately, there's a rite of passage that it has to be destroyed at least once.
Ouch.
So that's happened to me.
How much does a bass cost?
It depends.
A good one.
They can range anywhere from, they're like cars. You can get a good usable bass for a couple of grand,
Ooh.
but then you can get a bass the
Like a
cost
Ferrari.
of a house. I don't have one of those.
Okay, I was asking.
Nor do I need one.
Okay, because you're that good.
See, the music is here. You know what I'm saying? So you should be able to get some good sound out of anything.
We talk often on the show about music being the conduit to our spirit and
Yes.
to movement. How does Africa show up in your music?
Well, I think any person of color, this is already ingrained in the music. Because people ask things like, they talk about individuality in music. I've always felt that you already are an individual. Being an individual or being yourself is knowing who you are and embracing that and being happy with that. So how does Africa show up in our music? If you black and you from America, it's in your music already, whether you're aware of it or not.
I remember as a kid playing sports, and they were like, "Don't bring that street stuff in
Street
here."
ball, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Is there a similar? Because I'm imagining that's what I'm really asking. Like, because I think when we do things, there's a soul to it that doesn't like they go doom 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 doom, and you go
Same notes, but the expression is
I gotta be honest. I miss that street in a lot of jazz these days. I think at one point, jazz prided itself on being street. Then somewhere the tables turned where the focus became on intellectualism, which I don't have a problem with. But again, like being an individual, the music is already intellectual.
That's right.
So you don't need to overthink it and try to impress the erudites. You know, you don't need to do that. You know, I think there's so much intellectualism in just trying to groove hard.
Christian McBride is in the building. He has a show on SiriusXM. I just found out about it today. On Saturdays, what's the channel? What's the number?
What is Real Jazz? I think it's
no idea.
70-something.
Okay, 70-something. We'll look it up and we'll put it out.
All right.
And you can follow him at McBrides World. There's no apostrophe because it's Twitter.
Right.
McBrides World. You know, as you're talking, I've been trolled by people because I don't like jazz.
I see that.
67. No, I don't. At all. But what I do like, I like people. And I like music, and I don't think we should categorize music because there's some stuff that I like that might be jazz. Like Badu has all miles in her first, Badu. Right. That's jazz. We like.
Sing that again. What song was that?
I'm not. It's Badu. Who's on my list right now.
How come you don't like jazz?
It just
because of what I said.
No,
too intellectual?
No. I'm intense. So I need driving. Like my whole aura and personality is not chill. I'm the opposite of chill, actually.
You need some late Coltrane.
Oh, okay.
You need like some 1965 Coltrane.
Yeah, I need that. I need something that's gonna keep me.
You said intense, so like that move you're making there. I don't know. Maybe you need some Art Blakey, or you need some. You might need Bitches Brew. Miles Davis.
That sounds perfect, probably.
No, Live Evil. That's the one you need.
Okay,
Miles Davis album called Live Evil.
Okay, all right.
Blast that in your headphones. You're gonna be like.
Yeah. I can't do the the cognac and the snifter.
Like the track
what you came in on. I was like,
okay.
I will pass out.
You need to play Rumble in the Jungle. That's more your speed.
Okay. Now, who's Rumble in the Jungle?
That's the next track after Sister Rosa.
Okay, let's call that up. Let's see. All right. When
it's funky.
Is it funky?
I think that's the movement for Muhammad Ali.
Do you live in jazz? Do you listen to anything else, Christian?
Oh, well, let me show you. Oh, I didn't bring it.
Okay, just tell us because it's a live show.
Have you ever seen the Mr. Dynamite, the James Brown documentary? So I'm in that. So James Brown was my hero. I played with him, and he was somebody who I got to know. And so, yeah, the answer to your question is I make my primary residence in jazz, but my birthplace was funk and soul.
All right. When did you win your first Grammy?
Unknowingly in 2004. I got a box in the mail from the Recording Academy.
Stop it.
And it was a Grammy. I said, what the hell? And it was for a record I did with the great pianist McCoy Tyner. I didn't even know I was eligible. I was just playing bass as a sideman on his record. But that's when I started learning all the inside rules of the Recording Academy.
Wow.
So they put all of our names on the cover.
Wow.
McCoy Tyner, Terrence Blanchard, Gary Bartz, Christian McBride.
So
that made us eligible for a Grammy.
Wow.
So that was a big surprise.
Grammy in the mail.
Yeah. Didn't even know it.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you do with it?
It's in the crib.
Okay, so now
Next
it's got
to the
five
other
brothers. Yeah.
It's got five
sisters,
brothers.
Yes.
Those other five I knew when I got those.
Okay, because damn it, that's crazy. All right.
Pay more attention.
So you just had this album, Sister Rosa, came out February 7th.
Yeah. The whole album is called The Movement Revisited.
Okay, that's what it says right here too. I didn't even read it. Oh, wait, I'm gonna do it. The Movement Revisited: Musical Portrait of Four Icons.
Yes.
That's too long.
Well, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Martin Luther King Jr. Those are the four icons.
Okay.
Yeah, I do need to get a little jazz in my life. I'm watching Cherish the Day, and the brother has a record collection. I used to have a record collection because I used to DJ back 100 years ago. Horribly. I was a horrible DJ. I have stories. But I had record collection, the techniques, the whole nine. But he had this beautiful record player that was upright.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
I was like, where did he get? Like, that would make me want to go back into buying vinyl just to play something on something.
That's what I've done. I'm almost vinyl exclusively back in the crib.
What do you play it on,
It just sounds better.
Yeah.
I got
the crackling and the...
Yeah, I've got a couple of different turntables. I still got my old school Gemini that I use. Okay. I have an old Onkyo receiver, and I just pulled out all my old records again, and I'm enjoying it. I like that. You can feel the music better, I think, from vinyl.
Look at it. It does it. There's something. I feel like smoking a cigarette or something. So, Christian McBride, where are you from?
Philly. Born and raised.
John.
You know it. That's the name of my album before this one.
It was John?
Christian McBride's New John.
Okay. All right. What part of Philly?
West Philly.
Okay. West Philadelphia. Born and raised.
That's it. That's right.
All right. So growing up in Philly, to play the bass is a very, it's not like playing the flute.
Demanding. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Physically demanding.
And you have the body and the voice. So you didn't get punked because musicians, you know what I'm saying?
Thank goodness, no, I never got
you
punked.
Playing if you're playing the flute or something, if you're like, I don't know. All right. you navigating the space though. When did you know you were great?
I don't think I'll ever be that because I'm a lifelong student. You know, because I listen to people who I admire. You know, you listen to Duke Ellington all the way down to Quincy Jones to people like Wynton Marsalis. It's like I still got a long way to go.
But you also are a teacher because you mentioned, because as I was waxing poetic during the break talking about how jazz felt disconnected from my son's generation, it felt very white. You were saying you and your wife actually have a jazz program for young people.
Called Jazz House Kids in Montclair, New Jersey. And that came about as a result of my wife doing some master classes in Newark. And she realized a lot of these schools were getting rid of their music programs.
That's right.
So she had the foresight to start this organization.
Wow.
And so now kids from all over, well, it started out just from all over Essex County, and then it got to Passaic County, and now it's got through the whole state of New Jersey, through some in New York, and we got students internationally now.
I'm going to have to sign him up.
What's your wife's discipline? What's her?
Well, she's a singer. She sings on, she's singing backgrounds on the new album.
Wow.
And she has 4 albums of her own, and she's sang on my 2 previous big band records. But
did she get a Grammy too?
For the big band record, she got all the band members got a plaque, not a Grammy. Band's too big.
All right, Christian. You
a lot of mail fees.
You could have had your wife's name up there so she could get that Grammy in the mail by accident too. Christian McBride. All right, so how do people get in the program? Like, because I know Lorraine's getting the information.
It's just come down and audition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a placement audition.
Okay. Is there a website that they can go to?
Yeah, jazzhousekids.org.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's write that down. And
bring all your chillins.
And they can listen to you every Saturday on channel 67, you said
is
it was?
Is that what it is?
Yep.
67?
Okay. Yeah, Real Jazz.
What time?
12 noon.
12 noon. Is it live?
No.
Okay. All right. 12 noon on SiriusXM, channel 67. Follow him at McBrides World. And you absolutely can come back because I demand that you bring the bass in, take it up, put it together, and play for us.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
So I can get my jazz on.
All right.
Thank you.